Good morning. It's February the 27th, second last day of February. It's a Monday, and I'm almost back on a regular schedule. Not quite. I normally would be out a bit earlier than this, but it's a Monday, so walking along the creek. I think it's about minus 10 or something like that, going up to minus 4 today, so certainly warmer than our coldest, at least. But still winter, so I have to watch out for the ice. It's a Monday, so heading along the creek here. Just my normal Monday walk. When I get back, I have some corrections to make to the big desktop publishing job I undertook last few weeks, which was the annual reports for 2 years of the Pharmacy Association of Saskatchewan. I was the designer. They seem happy with it, but there are, of course, corrections from when I sent in the draft. So a few of those to do today. One focus this week will be finishing the first draft of the musical I've been writing the script for. Music and story by Clay Johnson, who I've actually known for a long time. He was my dentist in Weyburn, but he's also a composer, songwriter. And he had this Second World War story kind of drawing a bit on his family history. He had a uncle, I guess, who was in Bomber Command and did not survive. But this story is kind of his story, but he survived. It's got some good music, and hopefully it'll have some good dialogue once I finish writing it. Then we'll see what happens after that. He's working really hard to get it produced, so at some point. So I got that. What did I do over the weekend? I had another very special episode of my podcast, The World Shapers, where last Wednesday, I guess it was, Julie Cherneda and I, who are both published by Daw Books, with the help of Daw, who set up the Zoom conference, just talked to each other about our most recent books. Mine is The Tangled Stars, my far future space opera adventure, and hers is also far future. I guess you could call it space opera, called To Each This World. And we both read each other's books and then kind of chatted back and forth about them. So it was a lot of fun. And unfortunately, the video acted up. It seemed to have been some sort of connection problem around Julie's end, and she was freezing. So we went to audio only for the middle part of it. But what video there is on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can easily find it if you go down in the playlist called Writing. It's the number one thing there. It's also, of course, an audio-only version, as usual, for the World Shapers at theworldshapers.com. You can find it, or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Oh, somebody said hello. Oh, hi, Kirk, Vancouver. Julie is a far more, I hate to say it, but she's a more successful author than I, as far as the number of books and fans and all that stuff. And she has like 20 novels from Dawn. Tangled Stars was my 12th. And hope there'll be more, but don't have anything contracted at the moment. I hope to write the sequel to the Tangled Stars, because it is intended to start a series. But at the moment, I don't have the contract for that, so can't say for sure. They're looking at it. Not that I don't have other things to write. I've got so much I could be writing. Once I get the musical out of the way, I've got to focus on my nonfiction book that I have a grant for, which we'll talk about writing, what I've learned from the podcast. So you can see it's quite clear this morning, at least in the direction of the sun. Not so much walking this way. Oh, and that wind is sharper than I gave it credit for. I have to put my hood up after all. I thought I could get by without it today, but I think I better put up my hood. See if I can do that and keep walking. And hopefully without interfering with my microphone sound too much. I have a middle grade book I'm waiting to hear back from a publisher on. They've had it a long time. I finally got a response to my follow-up saying they'd had some issues at their end, but they'd, still looking at it. Yay. And of course, on the publishing side, I've got so much to do too. I've got the Kickstarter to polish up and get launched in the next, couple of weeks, ideally. I was hoping to do it next week, but I'm not going to make that, I don't think. So I'm actually looking hopefully March 14th it'll launch. That's actually what I'll be doing today once I get the desktop publishing job out of the way. It'll be Kickstarter. And I have a couple of books almost ready to go from Shadowpaw Press. The Ghosts of Spiritwood by Martine Noel Ma, first English edition of a popular... Oh, there's a rabbit down on the ice. I saw it, but I don't think you'd would have spotted it even if I pointed the camera at it. You might see it when we get to the bridge here. He was moving pretty good though, so... And then there's another historical novel by Karen Malberg-Schwier called Small Reckonings, which has been edited, and she's come back in response to the edits, and now it's time to do the layout so she can do the proofing of that. So, where'd that rabbit go? I don't see him. He went to ground or went into the reeds or somewhere. Oh, don't see any more. Just that one. This will just be my usual sort of walk. I'm not going to try to draw it out more than the usual 45 minutes or so. Too much to do. Tomorrow will be a downtown walk for sure. So I'll go down to work on this musical. Wednesday, probably a downtown walk again because I have to go down to the passport office. Take our renewal applications. Thursday, I don't know. Friday, hopefully around the lake. Thursday might be downtown again. I don't know. I know those are I do them a lot, but if I have a reason to go down, and it doubles up the walking with doing other tasks and is a more efficient use of time. Once the weather gets nicer, there'll be more just walking. And I will try to get a little further afield again. I keep saying that. At least on Saturday I was down in a different part that I walked in for a while. At least everything is reasonably cleared. I mean, packed down snow and ice, but it's not too slippery along here. some reason my screen seems really dim. I wonder if I could brighten it up. Yeah, it's a little better. So if there are any more comments, if you have a chance of seeing them, it was too dim to even have a chance. It's like they're walking faster than I am. I won't be catching them. There's some cross-country trails over on the other side there, which I walked that way when it's not snowy. Oh, maybe I'll take down my hood again. It's like off and on. It feels good, and then it got too hot. Not really my ears, it's my face. The wind's blowing, but it's nothing like what it has been many a time when I've been out walking. Give us a month. A month from now, the snow won't be gone, I predict. Hopefully we're getting some serious melting somewhere along in there. 2 months it ought to be gone. One hopes. It's Easter. Oh, actually Easter's only a month, isn't it? It's early. Isn't it? I'm singing in an Easter concert. Is that the beginning of April? Can't remember. I should find out. I need to go to rehearsals soon for that. So I'm helping out First Baptist Choir for their Easter concert. They needed a bass. Have a solo and everything. I have the music. I haven't been to a rehearsal yet. Last night I was at rehearsals for Wascana Voices, the self-directed choir I sing in. We have a concert end of April, beginning of May. End of April? Yeah, I think it's the end of April. It's all in my calendar, I just don't have it memorized. Maybe I will catch up if I keep up this pace. They're not going the same way I am. That wasn't why I stopped. Just checking something. Okay. we are going to cross Elphinstone here. Elphinstone, looking north. Creek's over there. I heard a lot of wind this morning. It's not nearly as windy as what I thought I heard. I think it was wind. It could have been snow clearing equipment. It was kind of, I was kind of half asleep. My brain interpreted it as wind. But if it was, it must have been a front coming in and then it dropped off. Because it's a little breeze, but it's not windy by Saskatchewan standards. It's the old joke that we don't consider it windy until you can see whitecaps in your bathwater. That's one Saskatchewan joke. The other one, of course, is it's a place where you can watch your dog run away for 3 days. Well, I see there. And here's our next bridge to cross. We will cross this bridge when we come to it, and we have come to it. Which means another opportunity to look both ways along the creek. So, looking east, where the sun has come up but has been swallowed by clouds. Looking west, pigeons that were here last time I came by are not here, although I can hear them under the bridge, just not on top of it. And on we go. Hear a backup beeper somewhere. I don't know what that's from. I can see flashing lights over there too. Oh, it could be garbage pickup. It's garbage pickup day. They only pick it up every 2 weeks when it's cold. Since it can't, spoil. Why it suddenly decided to point at the ground like that. It's actually a turtle sculpture, not a real one. They've clearly sanded this path until it gets brown. that has improved the traction. So I haven't felt it slippery anywhere really, which is good. Hi, Janet. Hi. Not what? Oops, now there's another one there. Hello from Brazil. Not manic, no. Oh, that's from my title. Just another Creek Walk Monday. Not particularly manic, no. No more than usual. Hello in Brazil. It says Autoflux car detailing in Brazil. There you go. There's a shout out. If you need your car detailed in Brazil. Won't even charge you for that bit of free advertising. Again, this path curves purely for aesthetic reasons. It's definitely not the shortest distance between 2 points. Brazil's a big country, but still. Oh, what is that sound? Metal scraping on maybe a grater, doing something graterish. Don't know that we'll see it. Whatever it was, I don't see it in the distance. It's over there where I'm pointed, but I'm going to go around another corner here. This doesn't seem to have been sanded as much as that part of the path. Still has enough beaten snow on it not to be too slippery. It'll be warmer once I head back because the wind's blowing from the northwest, it feels like. West-northwest. Could go on the creek here if enough people have been that I can get through the snow. There's a spot up here that's very low on the bank. It's where it always floods in the spring. There'll come the spring walk, or I can't come this way because there's too much water around. Hopefully not too far away. I'm looking forward to the thaw and the end of snow for another winter. It'll come back next year. Hopefully I'm here to see it. But I'll be glad to say goodbye to it now. Is this the low point? It is, but nobody has really been out there to beat it down. It doesn't look like, well, maybe. This is actually a place where people walk across the creek, so I could do that. That'd be different. Oh, just a dog. There you go. Middle of the creek, not on a bridge. Can't do this in the summer. And that's the Pasqua Street Bridge, which is where we're headed. Although I'm not going to go under it today. I just realized I haven't eaten anything this morning. If I don't do that, I certainly notice it by the time I'm halfway through the walk. Wascana Street. That old school over there is Saskatchewan Express, performing arts company and school. Not as in you go to school there, but you go there for classes, dance, musical theater, stuff like that. So the school bus is just parked there. They don't actually have a school bus because they're not a school anymore. That was an old school. It's been empty for a long time. I remember rehearsing the Fantastics in there with Thai Productions, and that was about 1990, so it was recently closed down at that point, I think. And Sask Express has been there for quite some time now. I can tell this has been a brisker walk than some, because I'm more out of breath. Now we'll check the sidewalk up here. It's usually clearer on the other side of the street. Sask Express, as it says over the door. Let's see here. Yeah, there's not really a path over here, so we'll cross. Go down the sidewalk on this side. This is 15th if you're following along at home on Google Maps. It's icier along here than it was on the path, though. So I have to slow down a bit. Oh, yep. Gotta be careful along here. The creek's now way over there. We're way over here. There's a sidewalk over there, but they don't keep it clear because that's where they pile the snow and they clear the street. could go that way, but then I'd be repeating myself. I think I'm better off on the road along here. A big chunk of snow that came off something. Looks too big to have come off a car. Been there long enough that the dogs have been using it as a marking post, though. Don't eat the yellow snow. Important life advice from anybody that lives in northern climes. Also, don't touch your tongue to a metal pole when it's really cold. Never done it. I did, however, put a bugle mouthpiece to my lips when it was cold and immediately regretted my life choices. And I knew it. Like the minute I did it, I thought, what on earth? What are you doing that for? Somebody else there. Hello. Yusuf, it looks like. From Bangladesh. Bet you it's warmer there than here. Yes, I touched the mouthpiece to my lips. And then the other stupid thing I did was immediately jerk it away again. You're always like, your brain's like one step behind your reflexes. And left this little ring of skin on the mouthpiece of the bugle. I was probably 10 or something. Still have the bugle. Oh, more ice. So that stung for a while. Fortunately, lips and gums heal really fast, so it wasn't too long. It wasn't as bad as a tongue. And people do that sometimes. Kids on a dare. And you leave a big chunk of your tongue, at least the skin, behind on the pole, which is not pleasant. This has really slowed me down along here. Keeping an eye on the ice. And some of these sidewalks are actually quite nicely cleared, but sometimes that's worse because then you get more melting. And then when you freeze, you get this perfect smooth ice surface as opposed to a slightly rough surface. Decisions. Do I go on down 15th or do I go across the street up here? I think I'll go back over to the creek again. Cross at this stop sign here. Go down by the Neil Bockwell Civic Arts Center. Down this way, past the soccer field over here. There you can see the posts. It's a soccer field. I mean, it's used for other things, but the youth soccer league that Alice very, very briefly played in, we discovered she had absolutely no interest in it. I remember going to a game here. She and her friend mostly were looking at stuff in the grass, not paying much attention to where the ball was. She was very little, but still. We didn't really like going to sit out there, and she didn't seem to be enjoying it, so she ended up focused on dance pretty much exclusively, and musical theater, things like that, and her schoolwork. She's a very good student. And about to graduate from the University of Toronto, which is hard to believe. She should still be the little girl that's playing in the grass over there in the soccer field, but she ain't. And yet I'm no older. It's amazing, really. Nobody on the playground. It's actually a good way to come. This street is very clear. That building is the Neil Bockwell Civic Arts Center. There's an art gallery in there, a small art gallery, and you can take art classes there. I'm actually surprised I haven't taken more art classes over the years. I minored in art at university, and it was a big focus of mine for a long time, but once I focused more on writing, the art kind of went to the side. I even drew editorial cartoons for 8 years at the Weyburn Review. They're all in the basement somewhere. I keep meaning to do some scanning and get my old newspaper columns and stuff. I could put them out as a book. I don't know who would want to read it, but it would be a slice of 1980s Saskatchewan life, I guess. I actually have a book somewhere of political cartoons from that era, from the Globe and Mail or one of the big newspapers, and they don't age well. I mean, the artwork is fine, but you don't have a clue what they're talking about half the time, or you vaguely remember what they're talking about. This is a seniors activity center over here. So my not very well drawn cartoons from the Weyburn Review are unlikely to find an audience. But still, there's some appeal to making a permanent record of them somewhere other than in the archives of the Weyburn Review. I think I'll just go on down College here. This is my plan today. Since it's been, let me do the math, 35 years since I left the Weyburn Review. Yeah, 1988. This fall it'll be 35 years since I left the Weyburn Review. It will be 30 years that I've been a freelancer. In the 5 years in between, I was communications officer at the Saskatchewam Science Centre. And then there were 5 years. Then I married an engineer, my lovely wife, Margaret Ann, which was a great career move because I don't know that I could have continued purely freelance without additional income in the family. I would have had to get a job, and I'd probably be financially far better off on my side of things. But 30 years of basically being my own boss, except for the occasional contract. Can't complain. In a couple of years, well, even now, I could get Canada pension, but I'm going to wait till I'm 65 at least. I've applied for a job or two, but at this point I think I'm unhireable. Unless something really special came along. Too old and overqualified, in a way, for any writing position anyway. Editorial, well, fine, but I don't have my editing experience at a newspaper is now ancient history as well, so not complaining, just that's the way it is. So freelance it is. And the two publishing operations, Shadowpot Press, could make money sometime. Hasn't yet. and now the self-publishing assistance side of things at Endless Sky Books. That one at least brings in money up front, if anybody takes advantage of my proffered skills. Oh, sorry, I just now saw that second note. This is just winter in Regina. Actually, the road's in really good shape because it's been warm enough to melt them off. The sidewalks, people clear them, but if you miss even a little bit of snow, it packs down, which has happened in front of our house. That's actually better because where there's this layer of packed snow, they're not slippery. But in places, there's just pure ice. That's what you got to watch out for. Well, you don't, but I do. Probably not a problem in Bangladesh. That side of the street is higher, and at one point there was a rail line along there a long time ago. There was up on the corner of Albert and College. So if you went straight up this way, went over Albert, which is the main north-south road, where the Royal Saskatchewam Museum is now, they began the process of building a major railway hotel. And this would have been the rail line, I think. It's a spur of some sort. I'm sure that's right. I'm sure there was a rail line. Or plans for one anyway. I don't know. But that was, wasn't the Depression, but it was a previous, this is my crescent. It was a previous crash that killed that project. And there's a house, I can't remember which street it's on. It's not Ritalik, Robinson maybe? Right down by the creek that has some building materials in it that were salvaged from that hotel. That was in my book, Historic Walks of Regina and Moose Jaw. And I got it from Heritage Regina. That's where most of the information in that book came from. I put it in book form, and I walked and took pictures of every single building that's in the book, although they didn't all go into the book, but they exist somewhere on a hard drive. Some of them, a lot of them actually are gone now, or a fair number anyway, torn down since then. Downhill, I can tell the difference once you turn the corner. Almost done, just up to the corner. Cross over to the other side of the crescent, which is my side. And there's coffee waiting for me and work once I get back in. So at least I got a proper walk in today. I've been skimping them a little bit more than I should, for sure. Partly it's the weather. Even today, not that cold, but knowing that you got to walk on the icy sidewalks is always kind of, do I really want to go out? I could sit here by the fire with my coffee, not go out at all. There's nothing else making me go out today. But out I went, and back I've come. Like the Hobbit, there and back again. Only without a dragon halfway along the journey. Saw a bunny rabbit. Not nearly as impressive as Smaug. Although perhaps the bunny rabbit thinks of himself as impressive. But, oh, there's a nasty bit. At least it's been salted, which helps some, but still really nasty. Bit of ice there. Here's our corner where I will stop. So I'll just mention before I'm done again, please subscribe. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, I make money. Not a lot, but some. And also, check out the other playlists on my channel. There's one of me singing, a few samples of that. And there's a writing playlist, which includes the podcast I just did yesterday with me and my fellow Daw Books author, Julie Sherneda, talking about our most recent books. Mine is The Tangled Stars, and hers is To Each This World. So check that out. And tell your friends and your enemies that they should subscribe to Edward Willett's YouTube channel. Okay, that's it. Thanks for walking with me. And bye for now.